Let's talk about the kiss, not the shallow kind you see in movies or the rehearsed gestures built on performance. I'm talking about the kind of kiss that leaves a mark on the soul. Because the truth is, the most powerful kisses don't live on the lips. They live in memory. And not every man knows how to give that. Most men are chasing a reaction, the wise man. He's creating an experience. See, a kiss can be casual or it can be conscious. It can be a moment of routine or it can be a moment of revolution in the mind of the woman receiving it. When given with depth, a kiss has the power to bypass her ego, her walls, even her trauma, and speak directly to something ancient and sacred inside her. That's why I say the kiss is not physical. It is spiritual. And when a woman feels kissed on that level, her entire body responds yes. But more importantly, her soul remembers. Why? Because women are not just looking to be touched. They are starving to be felt. And most men completely miss that. They're stuck in performance mode, trapped in their own anxiety, hoping to be impressive. But there's nothing impressive about desperation. What strikes a chord deep in a woman's spirit is presence, stillness. The kind of energy that says, I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to know you. And when that energy enters a kiss, everything changes. Let me take this deeper. The feminine craves to be penetrated, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and yes, spiritually. She wants to feel that who you are carries a gravity strong enough to draw her in and hold her there without force. A kiss can communicate that. If done with clarity and intention, a kiss says, you are safe. You are seen. You are chosen. That's not game. That's alignment. That's the kiss that bypasses chemistry and goes straight to connection. And connection is what she's actually hungry for. Now, this doesn't mean you perform that kind of kiss as a tactic. That defeats the entire purpose because it's not about technique. It's about presence. You can't fake sacred energy. You have to become the kind of man who lives in it. You have to be grounded in who you are, unshaken by her reactions, unattached to outcomes. You kiss not to get something, but to give something that can't be bought. Security, intention, love without fear. Because when a woman has been through emotional chaos, when she's been objectified, misunderstood, or led on, her nervous system becomes cautious. She stops trusting the moment. She stops trusting herself. She learns to shrink. But one kiss, when given from a man who is emotionally present and spiritually aware, can begin to undo all that damage. Not because the kiss itself is magic, but because the energy behind it is healing. It gives her permission to exhale, to open, to feel. This is why your kiss has to come from a place of emotional leadership. Not dominance in the shallow sense, but dominion over your own fears, your own neediness, your own insecurities. A kiss like that doesn't just say, I want you. It says, I can hold you. And in a world where most men can barely hold a conversation, that kind of energy is unforgettable. There's something else I want to say to the men listening to this. A woman can feel when a kiss is asking for validation versus when it's offering truth. If you're kissing her because you're hoping she'll choose you, you've already lost the frame. But if you're kissing her because you already know your value and you're inviting her into an experience that reflects that, then you're operating from power, not performance. And power is what she's drawn to. The man who can kiss her soul is not trying to be liked. He's trying to lead. He doesn't rush. He doesn't ask for permission in 100 different subtle ways. He doesn't kiss to fill a void. He kisses because he's already full. That kind of kiss feels like home. It feels like clarity in a world that's constantly chaotic. And that kiss, that's the one she dreams about when she's alone. That's the one that lingers. So I'll say it again, and I want you to let it sink in. The most powerful kiss you can give is not on the lips. It's in your energy. It's in your presence. It's in your stillness, your certainty, your calm. It's when your body is close, but your mind is even closer. That's the kiss that changes her, not just emotionally, but neurologically. That's the kiss that tells her this man is different. And when a woman meets a man who knows how to kiss her soul, she doesn't forget him. So don't chase her body. speak to her spirit, touch her soul. Because the man who does that, he doesn't compete with boys. He becomes her standard. Let's talk about the first real kiss that actually matters, the one that speaks to the wound she hides. Now, I know that sounds dramatic to some people, but if you've ever looked into the eyes of a woman who's been hurt, abandoned, ignored, or misunderstood, you already know this isn't just about romance. This is about recognition. This is about healing. See, women don't walk around wearing their pain on their sleeve. Most of them are trained to smile through it, dress over it, laugh loud enough to drown it out. But if you're the kind of man who pays attention, not just with your eyes, but with your soul, you'll see something in her. A guardedness, a flicker, a subtle hesitation in her breath. That's the part of her that has been touched the wrong way, spoken to the wrong way, seen through the wrong lens for too long. And this is exactly why your kiss must speak to that part of her, not the one she performs, but the one she protects. The soulful kiss is not a move. It's a message. It doesn't just happen in the body. It begins in the awareness, in the intention behind your presence. It tells her, you don't have to pretend anymore. You don't have to be strong right now. I'm not here to take, I'm here to see you, and that alone, that's rare. Because most people, especially in today's fast-paced world, interact with each other from a place of self-interest. They're thinking, what can I get from this person? How can I impress them? How can I win? But the man who gives the soulful kiss, the kiss that touches her wound with reverence, not exploitation, is the man who shows up differently. He doesn't kiss because he's trying to unlock her body. He kisses because he's trying to understand her story. And she can feel that. It's in the pace. It's in the way your lips pause just long enough to make her feel safe, seen, not rushed. It's in how your hand rests gently against her jaw, like you're holding something fragile. Not because she's weak, but because her strength has been overused. And now, finally, she gets to rest. Let me say something uncomfortable, but necessary. Most women have been kissed by boys who didn't even realize they were kissing a battlefield. They thought they were being romantic, but they were actually just echoing the same pattern of intrusion she's always known. Physical presence with emotional absence. And that's why your awareness is the difference between re-traumatizing her and beginning to restore her. You have to know that there are women walking this world with smiles on their faces and broken narratives in their hearts. Narratives like, I'm too much, or I'm not enough, or if I open up, I'll be left. These beliefs run deep. They don't go away with compliments. They don't vanish with charm. They only begin to dissolve in the presence of a love that is slow, stable, and aware. So when you kiss her soulfully, you're not just being sweet, you're being therapeutic. You're rewriting the script she's had to memorize to survive. You're telling her through action that there are men out there who know how to witness her without needing to fix her. That maybe, just maybe, she can trust again, not just in you, but in herself. Because here's the secret most men don't know: when you give her safety, you don't weaken her. You awaken her. That's when the softness returns. That's when the playfulness reappears. That's when the fire inside her starts to burn again, not as a defense mechanism, but as something sacred, something feminine, something free. And all of that begins with a kiss that says, I know the world's been loud with you. I'm here to be quiet. I know people have tried to take pieces of you. I'm here to honor what's left. I don't want to conquer you. I want to meet you. You become the opposite of everything she's been trained to protect herself from. You become the calm after the storm, the warmth after the winter, the silence that finally feels safe. That's the soulful kiss. And yes, it takes courage. It takes presence. It takes maturity. Because this isn't about technique. It's about becoming the kind of man who lives from his core, who doesn't flinch at emotion, who doesn't shrink from depth, who can walk straight into the places in her that even she has been afraid to face and not try to fix them, but simply stand there with love. Because sometimes the most healing thing in the world is someone who refuses to look away. So don't rush. Don't perform. Don't seduce for the sake of reaction. Learn to kiss like you're reading her soul, gently, slowly, with reverence. Because when you speak to the wound she hides, you don't just win her attention, you earn her trust. And the man who earns her trust, he doesn't just touch her body, he awakens her spirit, and she never forgets him. Let's go deeper. The third kiss, the one that awakens her curiosity, is where most men either play too safe or go too far. But when it's done right, it strikes a rare and beautiful balance between playful and powerful. I call it the teasing kiss. And no, it's not teasing in a manipulative or game-playing sense. It's teasing in a way that activates her imagination, her emotions, her anticipation, because the feminine is fueled by mystery, not confusion, mystery. The two are very different. Confusion is chaos. Mystery is art. When a woman feels mystery from a man who's grounded and intentional, her mind doesn't go into panic. It goes into wonder. And wonder is what creates attraction that lasts. Most men approach intimacy like a transaction. If I kiss her like this, she'll want more. If I touch her there, she'll react. That mindset is mechanical and, frankly, uninspiring. But the teasing kiss, it doesn't follow formulas. It follows feeling. It's not about control. It's about play. It's the kiss that dances on the edge without falling over it. It's the kiss that whispers, "There's more," and then pulls back just enough to let her lean in. And that moment, that split second where she leans in, curious, lit up, pulled towards something she can't quite explain, that's when you've stopped being physical and started becoming psychological. Now, hear me on this. This kiss doesn't come from insecurity. It comes from strength. A man who gives the teasing kiss isn't trying to prove anything. He knows he's the storm in the stillness. He's not in a rush because he's not starving. He can build tension without having to release it immediately. He can flirt without fear. He can create emotional foreplay because he knows that real desire isn't about speed. It's about suspense. Think about the last time something truly captured your attention. It didn't barge in and reveal everything all at once. It unfolded. It made you wait. It made you feel. The teasing kiss does the same thing. It gives a taste, not a feast. It stirs the feminine curiosity, not just in her body, but in her heart. It makes her ask, who is this man? What else is he capable of making me feel? That's where the game changes. When you master this kiss, you don't just stimulate her senses, you elevate her standards. She starts realizing that attraction isn't just about muscles or status. It's about presence, energy, subtlety, timing. You become the man who knows how to awaken her without even touching her fully. And that's when she starts associating your very presence with excitement. Now, let's talk about the internal dynamic this kiss activates. The teasing kiss awakens the part of her that wants to be pursued, but also wants to pursue. That subtle back and forth, that magnetic polarity, is what makes chemistry feel electric. Too many men try to dominate the moment, thinking that confidence is about always taking the lead. But sometimes the most seductive thing you can do is leave space. That space isn't emptiness. It's an invitation. It says, "Come find me." Not because you're unavailable, but because you're intriguing. Not because you're distant, but because you don't need to consume her to feel complete. That restraint, that composure. That's rare. And in the heart of a woman who's used to men, either chasing too hard or withdrawing too fast, it creates a spark she didn't see coming. Let me be clear. This isn't about manipulation. You don't tease to confuse her. You tease to engage her. There's a sacredness in this dance. And the man who understands that doesn't use it to exploit. He uses it to build connection. He uses it to say, "I'm not here to conquer you. I'm here to explore you." Slowly, fully, respectfully. And she can feel that difference because the teasing kiss given by an immature man feels like control. But the teasing kiss given by a mature man, it feels like freedom. It's not about withholding. It's about awakening. It's about honoring the rhythm of her emotions and letting tension build until desire becomes devotion. Women remember the man who made them feel safe. They remember the man who made them feel seen, but they also remember the man who made them feel alive. That's what this kiss does. It touches the space between her emotions and her imagination. It wakes up her sense of play. It reminds her that being feminine isn't just about softness. It's about the thrill of being pursued, of not knowing what comes next, of falling into a moment without fear of being dropped. So don't underestimate it. Don't skip ahead. Don't try to prove. Just play. Let the moment breathe. Let her feel the pause, the glance, the silence between kisses that says more than words ever could. And when you do kiss, kiss not to finish the moment, but to start something. Because when you awaken her curiosity, you don't just create chemistry, you create emotional gravity. And gravity pulls her back to you again and again. Let's talk about something that most men either misunderstand or fear altogether: the dominant kiss. Now, before your mind jumps to aggression or control, let's get one thing clear. Dominance isn't about force. It's about certainty. It's not about overpowering her. It's about creating a container strong enough for her to let go. Because the truth is, most women are not actually craving another man to impress them. They're craving a man who makes them feel safe enough to surrender. But here's the nuance. Surrender doesn't happen when you're soft. It happens when you're solid, when you're emotionally grounded, spiritually awake, and psychologically clear. That's the man who gives the kind of kiss that doesn't just make her feel good. It makes her feel held. Because in that moment, she's not thinking. She's not strategizing. She's not performing. She's feeling. And it's your grounded masculine energy channeled through that kiss that creates that experience for her. And I promise you that kind of experience is rare. We live in a time where men are either too passive or too performative. One side is afraid of their own strength, walking on eggshells, trying not to offend. The other side misuses their strength, trying to dominate out of ego, not presence. But the man who understands true masculine leadership, the man who understands dominant tenderness, he becomes unforgettable. And that starts with how you touch her, how you kiss her, how you lead her, not with pressure, with presence. The dominant kiss is slow, intentional, certain. It doesn't ask permission, but it doesn't ignore consent. It moves with the kind of confidence that comes from deep respect, not entitlement. When a man kisses her like that, what he's saying without words is, you don't have to carry it all anymore. I've got this. I've got you. And that is a relief to the feminine soul. Because whether she shows it or not, most women are tired, not just physically, emotionally. She's tired of being the one who has to be in control. The one who plans, protects, and pushes forward. She's tired of feeling like she has to choose between being strong or being loved. And when she meets a man who can hold both, her strength and her softness, without flinching, something inside her melts. And that melting, that's not weakness. That's freedom. The dominant kiss invites her into that freedom. It says, you don't have to think right now. You don't have to perform. You don't have to lead. Let me take care of this moment. Let me take care of you. And when she feels that, not in theory, but in real time, through your presence, her whole body responds, not out of obligation, out of desire, because the feminine doesn't want to be overpowered. She wants to be overrun with emotion. She wants to feel so safe that she forgets the weight she's been carrying. She wants to be reminded that there are still men out there who are strong without being cruel, assertive without being arrogant, powerful without being dangerous. That's the man who knows how to kiss her with dominance and dignity. And let's be honest, dominance without emotional intelligence is just a costume. It might impress for a moment, but it doesn't build trust. It doesn't build depth. The man who's truly dominant is the man who knows how to listen with his hands, with his timing, with his intuition. He can sense her breath, her tension, her permission, and instead of reacting, he leads, not recklessly, not selfishly, but with full awareness of what she needs even before she says it. And let me say this to the men who are hesitant about their power. Your strength is not the problem. It's your disconnection from it that's dangerous. When you deny your strength, it leaks out sideways through insecurity, indecision, emotional volatility. But when you own it fully, when you integrate it, when you bless it, it becomes something beautiful. It becomes the kind of energy that stabilizes a woman's chaos without shutting her down. It becomes the kiss that tells her, I see your fire and I'm not afraid of it. In fact, I welcome it. Because the feminine is not looking for a man who shrinks around her. She's looking for a man who can contain her without controlling her. And yes, that begins with a kiss. So stop holding back. Stop second guessing your leadership. Stop asking the world for permission to be the man you were born to be. Learn to kiss her with depth, with direction, with an authority that doesn't shout but whispers, "You can let go now. You're safe with me." That's not arrogance. That's alignment. And when you kiss her from that place, not just in body, but in spirit, you won't just arouse her. You'll anchor her. You won't just impress her. You'll transform her experience of what love can feel like. So become that man. The one who doesn't flinch at her fire. The one who leads her into surrender, not because she has to, but because for the first time in a long time, she wants to.